I'm now to check out your news and numbers tonight. So cases of vaping-related lung injuries have now been reported in all 50 states. According to the latest data from the CDC, there are nearly 2,300 cases overall. Cases have also been reported in Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So far, 48 deaths have been confirmed in 25 states, plus D.C., 3 here in Georgia. Apple could ditch the Lightning connector on the highest-end versions of the iPhone in 2021, meaning the devices will require wireless charging, something else for you to buy. An Apple analyst writes that getting rid of the cable will boost shipments and the average selling price of the high-end models. Okay, not a bad trade-off. He predicts the company will switch to a USB Type-C connector, which is widely used all across the industry. Hey, Dollar General plans to open 1,000 new stores nationwide by the end of 2020. The company's CEO told investors sales are way up compared to last year. Dollar General already has 16,000 locations in the U.S. That's more than McDonald's, guys. No word yet on how many of those stores will be in Georgia.